So you know the protocol, right?
Yeah.
You'll talk, you'll point to things with the laser pointer and summarize and then say, if you have any questions, yeah, thank you, and then if you have any questions, I'll answer. So no more than 2 questions and keep the answer short. Okay?
Come here.
Do you have sufficient light there? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Bharat Ram. I'm doing my Masters of Science in Telecommunication Systems Management from Northeastern University, Boston. So, as per the requirement for my project, I've done integration of Open Daylight SDN controller and kernel net. That's a network emulator that I've been working on quite recently. I'm doing integration and testing with respect to this network emulator. First, now the basic guidelines. So basically, just configuring and installing the kernel net network emulator. It's like unlike Mininet, it requires a lot of effort, which to install and configure the network emulator. And ODL is one more Open Daylight controller. Open Daylight controller, so which has been actually started by Open Networking Foundation, with association with Linux Foundation. It was the first controller which was made open flow, which had open flow in it. So this was like, and all the other controllers which are currently used are like for more educational and experimental purpose. This is like more for the enterprise and on a very large scale. So we are going to look into Open Daylight controller. So Open Daylight controller, as I said, is a very for a high scale this is used. So these are the 4 main features of Open Daylight: Java interface, Maven, OSGI, and Karaf. So right now for integration purposes, I've used the Karaf module. So each and every like Java interface, Maven, they are all used for, they are like bundles. So they are like used for automation purposes, as well as they are like a framework which is used in the Open Daylight. So I'm doing L2 switch integration of Open Daylight and kernel net. So these are the basic features of L2 switch, and Open Daylight is an advanced controller and has all these features. So a packet handler, loop remover, ARP handler, address tracker, host tracker, and L2 switch. And also it has one more advantage where they have their web UI, where you can actually view instead of viewing it in the background. They have a web interface where you can view it in the in the graphical user interface in the application. So these are the features that you have to install for L2 switches. So ResConf, all DLUX, all is for the to view all the nodes in the web UI user interface, and L2 switch all is the main feature that has to be installed as a part of this. And this is all happening inside ODL. So to view all the installed applications, these are the commands that has to be used. So right now we are going to integrate. We are going to see the L2 switch operations. So we are basically covering STP in it. So spanning tree protocol. So I'm just brushing up the basics of spanning tree protocol. I'm sure everyone knows, but just in case. So it's an L2 switch is a function that suppresses occurrence of broadcast streams. I know in a normal network, when you have when we are having something like this, so there's going to be a loop, because every node is going to broadcast its frame to every other frame, and there's going to be a infinite loop happening in there. So spanning tree protocols comes into the picture, and with spanning tree protocol there's a BPDU, bridge protocol data unit. Packets are exchanged, and they're going to talk with each other, and based on the port availability, they are going to say if they are going to be forwarded or they are going to be discarded. So we are just going to see this feature in Open Daylight with the kernel network emulator. So this is basically again having the root bridge selected, designated port, non-designated port, and where. So this is just the basics. So kernelnet is a network emulator that I'm currently working on. So it's a very it's just started right now, but it has a very long way to go. So, and the reason I chose kernelnet is because of the fact that it supports both traditional networks as well as SDN networks, and it is really helpful when it is useful for SDN migration, where you want to really when you have both mixed networks where you have SDN and traditional networks in the same topology. So in that case, it is going to be really useful to test it and see their functionalities. So these are the various features that is this network emulator has. So it is currently in its second version. So for this kernelnet, we give input via Postman REST API client. So a Postman is a Google Chrome's REST API client. So unlike Mininet, where just type sudo mn minus and it gives away. You have to basically, this is a post topology, get topology. I'm just going to rush through this. So this is the API client for STP. So it's actually very basic. This is the client for this one. And when I'm going to have this implemented in the Postman API, I can check the nodes. This is the web interface I was talking about previously. So when you ping each and every nodes, you're going to see that there's going to be something like this form. So that is, if you're going to look into ODL L2 switch guide, you're going to see all these things explained. So this is localhost. The port number 8181 is going to help you know about this. And we are going to check the address observation and host address information as well. So there's like different, you can get this particular link to have the address observation and host address information, which you can check, see through this one. So in the demo I can give you much more explanation about it. So for checking the STP status, once you have both kernelnet and ODL installed and have that input data run using Postman, you could see something like this happening in the. So this particular interface is blocked, and there's flow here and here. So if host 2 wants to talk to host 3, it will go like this. So and you can see this is again, you can check the status using ODL as well. So the one which was used to check the address and node observation is used to help us know if you can see that the particular interface is discarding this one, and this one is forwarding. So similarly for the other interfaces, it's going to say forwarding. So alternately you can just block one of the interface and check for the other interface. So I'm like, it's a long-term project. I'm like contributing to it. So that's it. Thank you. And I can have like 2 more questions from people.
Like, how are you planning to improve your network simulator?
So this one is still in its child. I would say so. I would say automation is the way to go from now on.
Do you think it can be successful?
Yeah, definitely. How in the sense it's going to be really helpful for SDN migration.
No, I'm saying the marketing aspects of this.
Marketing aspects, I think it will definitely work out when there's going to be a need for it.
Thank you.